Oi, what's up boys and grots and little snots, and can't forget the digger knobs. Cork and Walker's Workshop.
Hey, what's going on everybody? This is G The Hypersapien, and in this video we're going to continue exploring the Ork Miniature Range. And this time we're going to have a look at Megatrakk Scrapjet. So this box comes with one Citadel miniature, jet propelled drill speedster. So we got our rocket cannon, twin big shooter, go faster fins, spiked ram, nose drill turbine screw, twin big shooter tail gunner grot, rocket cannon, wing missile, and spiky tracks. Now we got some art. We've got our Bad Moons killer looking symbol or logo here. Obviously it's in a nice bright yellow. We got our main man down here with his little radar. And how detailed is that? It's like a road basically in his radar. It's incredible. And we've got our rockets. We got a front view of the Git himself. I love that furry collar around him. And you can't forget his little hat with his goggles. We got our twin big shooter grot. And then we got some more missiles. And on this missile, it's got basically some smoke, I guess, coming out of it. So it looks like it's propelling the missile. Now we got a complete image of the full complete scrapjet. Got our suggested paint scheme for tyres, so it's blacks and greys. So we got our metal paint scheme. It goes from a darker silver up to a lighter one. It's got known oil for the shade. And we've got our Citadel suggested paint scheme for orc skin. So it's using wire flesh, and then it's got some layer and edge highlights. And then we've got our yellow, obviously for the Bad Moon scheme, depending on what clan you're going to use. But anyway, we'll bust this open and we'll have a look. So we've got our assembly guide. We've got our big buggy sprue here, and then we've got this nice big oval base. So as always, we'll start with our assembly guide. So before assembling your miniatures, please read through the instructions in this booklet carefully. A pair of plastic cutters is required to remove the plastic components in this kit from the frame. We advise you using the mold line scraping tool to clean up the parts. To assemble your model, you will need plastic glue. Games Workshop sells Citadel fine detail cutters, Citadel mold line remover, and Citadel plastic glue, but does not recommend these products for use by children under the age of 16 without adult supervision. Now this is an explanation of the symbols, so just have a look at them, and as you're building, use this guide to work out if you're struggling to work out what the symbol means. Come back to this part and it will remind you. Just stuff like repeat progress, stage complete, and then it shows you if there's a variant or a choice of parts. So we've got 1A here and 1B. So you're basically starting to put all these parts together. The chair comes in on the side into there. So this is quite a nice and advanced build guide compared to some kits I've reviewed, because the blue part is what's already been glued, and then the clear or the grey part is the pieces that you're about to glue on. Also, if you notice the yellow part, that's where you put the glue, or where the connection of the two pieces is going to go. So that's always nice as well, with these more new advanced coloured build guides. So they are a bit more expensive, the kit, but they do have more of an elite build guide in my opinion. And then they're putting these grey parts on, and then you can see on the arm or on the torso that it's got the yellow part, which is where the glue and the two pieces are going to meet. And underneath it shows that you put in the torso into the little chair part. So that's why above it has it in blue, because it's already glued. 1C, now you put the other side of the scrapjet on. So you have all these nice details, but a fair bit of it's going to be covered, which is kind of a shame in a way. But it does add detail and depth, like as in it feels more real having all this 3D sort of miniatures. Makes it come to life, but the grot's going to be mainly covered. 1D, you're putting on the rooftop. You got this nice drill piece. It reminds me of like Ninja Turtles. If you remember, they used to drill in the ground, the enemies. Yeah, you got this part of a jet basically, and then you put in this nice big drill piece into it. You put in some exhaust on the side. You got that fin and other little various pieces. And then yet again, the blue parts are the parts that are all glued together, and that's just a complete image of it, which looks pretty cool already. Like, it would be amazing to get one of these and make it like a hover vehicle. If you could leave, maybe you'd have to drill a flight stand into it, but it looks really cool like that. Some Star Wars pod racer sort of feel to it. Now we've got 1F and 1G. Yet again, the blue is the stuff that's already glued. So you add in basically the other side of what you just built. So the fin, the exhaust, and then the little tip of the exhaust. In G, it shows you the parts that you've glued on. And now you're gluing this little frame part here. Like, I guess it's where the wheels are going to go. You've got 1H. You add in all these sort of mechanisms to it. Some spikes. Just building the scrapjet up. Now you get a complete image of the stuff you just added on, which is nice. Now you've got 1I. Now you're adding the same parts really, but for the other side. So more little bits and pieces, spikes or blades. And then you get a nice image again of what you added. Now you added a bit to the console there. You can see it on the computer or the knobs and stuff. To 2A and 2B. So you're only adding a targeting mechanism there. And then you add in a couple of big shooters for the grot. And then you just cover in even more of him, unfortunately. So maybe leave 21 off so you can paint and get to the grot, and then add it or glue it on later, or even leave it off, I guess, if you want to show more of the grot, depending how it looks once it's built. But yeah, we'll see how we go. Now we got 2C. You're building the Ork pilot or Ork driver, depending how you look at it. You get his torso, and then you add his hand. It looks like he's got a joystick in his hand. And then you add his other hand as well. Then you add his awesome looking head to his body. Last piece is like a scarf. But yeah, I really like this look. He looks more like obviously a pilot really than a driver, but that's the whole idea in a way. Most likely, me personally, I'd leave this Ork out, paint him separately, paint the chair, get in all those hard to reach places, and then add him on later, glue him in after. Then we get an awesome bird's eye view of him in his little vehicle. Looks great. And we've got 2D, which add in all these missiles. And this symbol, if we remember from earlier, means that you have options. So from what I know, you can add one that looks like it's shooting out with some smoke coming off it, or you can have them all just sitting idle. Then you add this part, just this little bit to the machine. So you're adding all the shooters now, so they're just two separate pieces that you add together and then you stick them on. Now we've got 2F, you added these two sides together. Nice big shooter there with all the rockets attached to it. As you can see there, you add in the top and the side of the muzzle. So we're on 2G, you add in the tracks now and in the wheels. If you've seen any of my other reviews or if you built one yourself, the wheels are quite easy to put together. You have normally these little nub parts that one side goes into. You can see that you glue it in. And then that's what it looks like after that stage. And then you just put them on the base and you're complete. But most of the time I blue tack mine to the base. Blue tack him so I can do the base separately, get to the base and add all my details and then glue the git to it. So yeah. Now it kind of had this on the back of the box, but we'll have a quick look anyway. So it's got the suggested paint scheme for his flesh, for his metals and the yellow of the vehicle, and then the greys. We've got the reds as well for the missiles or whatnot. Then we've got a few other colours, coppers and steel and gold, but that's just for these little bits and pieces, these details. And then we got the rules for the Megatrakk Scrapjets. So the weapons, it's got the rocket cannons, the twin big shooter, the wing missiles, the nose drill at the front. It's got the abilities there. So we got Here We Go, Mob Brawl, Daka, Speed Mob, Spiked Ram, Explodes. We got our keywords. Now we'll take a look at the nice big sprue. So we got our body of the vehicle, which is really nice. Really nice details, really crisp. If you can see, you've even got some little holes here, which is really nice. You've got bullets and panels. There's that drill piece. You've got the console, which is really detailed, all those knobs and bits and pieces. That's really nice. On this fin, you've got another symbol. You've got all the little bits and pieces. You've got the spikes or the blades there. You've got the main part of the jet, which is really awesome. You've got our symbol here again. I think it's like a Speed Freak looking symbol by the look of it. I like how both the fins are different. So it's like not quite symmetrical, which is really cool. You've got our slick tire and our one with lots of tread. Got our guns. You've got our exhaust, which yet again it's got a couple of repairs on it, which is nice. One flat panel and one with a sort of grid or a different pattern. You've got our tracks. Grot here, his little hands. You've got this big, nice big turbine looking part. And this is really nice and detailed as a chair. And the Ork himself. Love that. This piece is really nice with our cogs on it. So I turned it around so I can show the body a little bit more. I really love this. I love his collar, like his fur collar. This is really detailed, this belt buckle. Really love that. Got our bits of guns and missiles. A little targeting system. We got the Ork's arms, which is really nice. And he's even got a watch. And I love his cuffs here. They're really cool. I really love that orc head. That's really nice, really detailed. He's got lots of texture to him, so you could put a wash or a dry brush over him. It'll really bring all that out. And have to show the grot's face. Damn, he's really detailed. That's one ugly looking git. Never seen the grot's face this up close and personal. He's like Penguin from Batman. Look how pointy that nose is. You could poke someone's eye out with that. But yeah, that's a really nice head. But yeah, that's the Megatrakk Scrapjet. Hope you enjoyed this unboxing and review. As always, I appreciate you watching. This was G The Hypersapien, and I'll catch you next time. Cheers.